So YouTube finally responded to all the backlash they've gotten for removing dislikes. So obviously they recently removed dislikes from YouTube Shorts. So this Twitter account was saying, "YouTube, please bring back the dislikes," right? And they were actually showcasing one of the worst shorts I've ever seen. This is like so comically bad, where this lady was trying to compare like this like weird art to like her art and stuff like that. Again, this is like what the dislike button was made for. This type of short is just absolutely awful. But as you can see over here, not only is a like button now turned into a heart, but now you can't even dislike these videos anymore. So YouTube, even though they weren't even tagged in any sort of way, they actually jumped in here and responded to this and said, "We actually retired the dislike button from shorts to give you clearer, more effective control over your recommendations. Our research showed it overlapped with tools like not interested and don't recommend this channel. Streamlining these options removes that ambiguity so you can give more precise feedback." Feedback, huh? YouTube cares about feedback? Oh my God, this is so funny. More details here. They get a little support link over here. And also, if you have any suggestions, you can send feedback here, which is so funny because if they cared about feedback, then that would indicate that they should bring back dislikes. But anyways, they got community noted as they always do. YouTube began the process of removing dislikes following Rewind's 2018's 20 million dislike count. This is true. And there's also another big reason why YouTube got rid of dislikes, which we will get into later. The current method of selecting not interested requires a higher number of clicks, which discourages people from providing negative feedback on content. So that is also true. So the way they want you to do it is to click like a three-dot menu over here, then click either not interested or don't recommend channel on the content that you don't want to see. So when you actually go over here to that help article that they linked, oh my God, it is so funny. "We have been listening to feedback on how to improve the viewing experience on shorts." Really, YouTube? You guys have been listening to feedback? Is that something that you guys actually do? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but literally every single YouTube post that they make about anything is just flooded with people talking about all the crap that is going on YouTube right now. All the AI moderation crap, all the AI age verification, the fact that they removed dislikes and they're not giving it back. And yet they have the nerve, the gall to say that they're going to be listening to feedback. Really, I think all the feedback is pretty clear on the exact type of stuff that you guys should be doing on the platform. But regardless, let's get back to the community note, right? So the first thing that they mentioned is the YouTube rewinds, which is correct. That is absolutely correct. And YouTube did actually lie in this post that they made. So YouTube Rewind was YouTube's showcase of their biggest content creators, the biggest trends on YouTube and the internet in general. And it was actually a beloved piece of content that everybody used to look forward to every single year. They actually showcase all of like the biggest trends on the internet, and they actually showcase their biggest content creators in a way to show all the viral moments that are going on the internet, to create that communication and that connection between their community and themselves, right? And it was actually a really, really good piece of content that at the beginning, believe it or not, was actually some of the most liked videos on YouTube, right? 2012, 2011, all the way to up to about like 2016 is when it started kind of going downhill a little bit. But these videos were actually some of the most loved pieces of content on YouTube. So 2016, 2017 were a little shaky, but the real one that everybody hated up until onwards is actually YouTube Rewind 2018. As that community post mentioned, that YouTube Rewind ended up actually racking up over 20 million dislikes. And the reason why is because it didn't become about the YouTubers anymore. It became all about these like random celebrities that started YouTube channels, and it essentially just became a corporate slop version of YouTube Rewind full of ads and stuff. It became this thing where it wasn't even that fun piece of content that it used to be, but now it started turning into something a little bit more weird, right? So obviously everybody made their feelings known and disliked the video and said, "Hey, YouTube, this one was absolutely trash. You guys missed the mark," right? Well, instead of YouTube taking that feedback and trying to make the next YouTube Rewind better, they made the laziest attempt possible, and they just did like a random like compilation or whatever of like the most liked videos, and they didn't put any sort of effort into it whatsoever. All they did was showcase some of the most viral and most liked videos, and they didn't at all try to like set something up like how they used to do in like the 2012, 2013 days. But anyway, so yeah, YouTube actually ended up having the most disliked videos on the platform be their own rewinds, and this resulted in them eventually removing dislikes, right? They claimed they did it to try to stop hate attacks on YouTube or whatever, but if they wanted to do that, why not just make it so you actually have to watch a certain percentage of a video before you can dislike it? Why would you remove the button altogether and make it so we can't actually provide feedback to videos that we don't like, right? So that was one of the reasons why YouTube did it, but there's also a second reason, which I don't really see a lot of people mention, that I really believe is true based on all the evidence that I've gathered. And that is that there are major companies in the world right now that are actually making extremely unpopular decisions than they were back in the day, and their videos were getting tons of dislikes, and they actually threatened YouTube to remove dislikes, otherwise they would pull all their advertising out of the company. So as you guys can see, I'm on the PlayStation channel. I think some of you guys know where I'm going with this, but PlayStation is one of the most hated companies in the world right now because they randomly decided and made this random update. Yeah, hey, by the way, guys, we're not going to be selling physical games anymore. All of the games will be digital, and now they have the power to shut off your video game at any time, and you can't, just freely play your game if you have a physical copy, or if you would like to collect physical copies and have like a little bit of a collection. They don't care about any of that. They're going to stop you from doing that. So PlayStation actually uploads videos, right? They upload videos of the newest games coming out, trailers or whatever. So if we go over here, let's just go ahead and try to look at one of their more viewed videos recently. They average somewhere around 10 to 20,000 views. But as you can see over here, there's one trailer over here that got 50,000 views. Maybe it's because people really liked the trailer and the video game and they're excited for it, right? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the comments, right? So in the comments over here, it is just people talking about the fact that PlayStation got rid of physical games. They are no longer going to be selling discs. Everybody's upset with them. And it just goes to show that people are very freely willing to let their mind and thoughts known whenever a company goes ahead and does some crappy stuff, right? So not only did everybody leave all these comments and stuff like that, but I can guarantee you guys that the video is currently flooded with dislikes, right? It only has 1.9K likes for a 52K viewed video, which is really not that good. And I would imagine that this video has thousands of dislikes, way more than the like button, right? But how is that going to make PlayStation look, right? People are going to be thinking, oh, maybe this Blackbeard video game is going to be ass or something like that, right? That's going to hurt the amount of purchases that they get for that game. That's going to hurt their brand in general. So they can go over to YouTube and be like, hey, what the hell, man? Everybody's disliking our freaking video. You guys need to get rid of that, or we're not going to go ahead and, advertise on your platform. And I'm just using PlayStation as an example. Tons of companies have done that type of stuff, especially around that like 2021 era where YouTube actually removed the dislikes. Tons of companies were making terrible, corrupt decisions, and people were making their thoughts known in their comment sections and especially on that dislike bar. So I truly believe that that is another big reason why YouTube actually removed dislikes from the platform, because they're trying to make it so they don't go ahead and have negative feedback from their advertiser. They claim that they're trying to create a better experience for user feedback, and yet all the user feedback is literally telling them to bring back dislikes. That is like one of the most popular phrases on YouTube, bring back dislikes. People have been saying that for years now, right? And they have the nerve to try to say that, here, you can go and provide some feedback for us. Why? What's the point? You guys don't ever listen to anything that anyone ever says anyways. Get rid of all the AI slop content on the platform. Bring back dislikes. Stop having such a broken copyright system. Stop having such a broken moderation system. There have been so many things that people have been telling YouTube for years, possibly even decades, and YouTube just refuses to listen because why would they? They have no competition. And so with the whole dislike thing, right, I really believe it is not just the whole YouTube Rewind thing, but I also believe it's because they don't want backlash from the companies that are paying them millions of dollars for advertising on their platform. Another more simple reason why they're getting rid of dislikes is they seem to really want to compete with TikTok and Instagram, right? YouTube wants to be the biggest like short form video platform on the world. So they turned their like button into a heart button, right? And I know that sounds like it's not that big of a deal. Oh, what are you overreacting for? But YouTube's thing over here has been a like button for like decades now. It used to be a star system thing, but YouTube got rid of that like eons ago, right? So it's been a like button, a thumbs up button for a very, very long time. But they recently changed it because, again, they want to try to compete with Instagram and TikTok. Why though? Like, you guys have such a monopoly on the video sharing space. Why the hell is it important for you guys to try to compete with them? How much money do you guys need? So yeah, YouTube is going ahead and saying, yeah, we want to go ahead and remove dislikes to improve your experience or whatever. And they actually also released a longer statement over here as well, which they released at the end of June 2026, where they said recent experiments showed that simplifying these options made it easier for users to give more specific feedback on videos and led to a more intuitive and better experience overall. Once again, they're talking about experiences and feedback, which is just so funny to me because literally all of the feedback that you guys get tells you to bring back dislikes. They tell you to get rid of AI moderation and AI slop on the platform. Since when has feedback been important to YouTube? They have never demonstrated that it is important. Otherwise, they would actually listen to the biggest content creators on their platform and the entire audience of YouTube, the entire community of YouTube, when they all say the same thing. Hey, bring back dislikes, man. It's just so crazy that YouTube tries to act like they care. Dislikes were such a helpful and important tool to see the general feedback on a video, right? Especially in tutorial videos, right? If a tutorial video has a bunch of dislikes, you don't even have to waste your time watching it because for the most part, it's pretty much guaranteed that the tutorial didn't work, right? So you can immediately move on to a different tutorial. YouTube keeps saying the hate attack thing, right? They didn't mention it in this, section over here with YouTube Shorts, But when they first got rid of dislikes in 2021, that is what they said. Oh yeah, we are going and doing it because there are hate attacks that are happening on YouTube. Well, then again, I mean, tons of people have suggested this. I've suggested this as well. If that is the case, and that is the main reason why YouTube removed dislikes, then just make it so a YouTube account literally cannot dislike a video until they watch a certain percentage of the video, maybe like a third of the video or something like that. That way, if somebody wants to go out of their way to hate on somebody to dislike their video, at least they have to watch a third of it, and that would actually discourage them from disliking the video. There are very, very simple solutions on what YouTube could have done to make sure dislikes still stay on the platform because, again, they are a very important part of the platform. But instead, they would rather lie to us and say, oh, we care about your better experience and feedback, when we all know that that is the biggest pile of bullshit that YouTube has ever spewed. So yeah, that is YouTube's response for everybody's telling them to bring back dislikes. I assume their answer would be the same if people ask them to bring dislikes back on long form videos as well. They just don't care about us, right? We really, really, really need a good YouTube alternative to give YouTube some competition. That way they will actually be forced to listen to their feedback. Otherwise, everybody will just go over to the reliable YouTube alternative. So yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the situation in the comments. YouTube is just going to be stubborn and double down on removing dislikes. Please leave a like in the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more. See ya.